Hello, welcome. It's Aki Anastasiou. Welcome to another episode of What's Next. We are coming at you from the Broad Media Studios in Centurion, and it's a great pleasure to welcome in the studio today Hector Beyers, who is a familiar face to What's Next. He is the CEO and he's the founder of Codehesion. Hello, Beyers. Nice to see you in person. How are you doing?
Aki, I'm doing great. Yeah,
Lovely
great to see you again.
Listen, what an amazing success story you've had at Codehesion. I often talk to people every day, and they talk about the interactions with your organization. But for those viewers that may not be familiar, who is Codehesion? What do you guys do? And what inspired you to begin this incredible entrepreneurial journey? Because aside from the journey that you began, it's humble beginnings, but it's been tough along the way. It hasn't been easy being an entrepreneur. And what are the lessons you've learned? Tell us a little bit about you and Codehesion and what got you started.
Thanks, Aki. Okay, so first, Codehesion, I would say we're a software innovation delivery house.
Yeah.
So if I had to say something that we're really good at, it is taking a project that the company wants to do and focusing on delivery, getting it done successfully.
Right.
So custom software is our game, and following the right process to deliver custom software. And then with a focus on delivery, we don't really match clients with developers, and that's all we do. We like to bring in the process and deliver something successfully. So focus on success has been the cornerstone of what we've done at Codehesion. In terms personally, I've had some time to obviously think about it throughout the years. You know, what got me into this position. And
yes. How did you start? What gave you the idea to start Codehesion?
I think it goes back to varsity days. So I was finishing up my master's degree in computer engineering. So
At the University of Pretoria.
University of Pretoria,
Right.
right. And it is, so that's my passion and it's my field, especially the software side of computer engineering has always been my passion. But there was a leadership element of that I've always strived towards. So somewhere on varsity, don't ask me how, but I got elected as president of the Student Representative Council.
Oh, wow.
At Tuks. So it was a cool experience. And at a very young age, I could experience how it is to run your own organization. You know, so budget, lots of crises, strategy, planning, execution, and all of that. Leading people, and combining that with, I think, computer engineering and innovation has always been something that I wanted to do. So I went to work at I Mentioned Data for a few years, and after that, did a lot of software development and product innovation for them. And then after that, I had to break free and do my own thing.
There's a song there, you know that, eh?
Yeah.
It's Queen.
Oh.
I want to break free.
Absolutely, yeah. I did feel that way. It was a great company, I Mentioned Data, to work with, but just that experience of starting your own thing and running your own company. At a young age, like that changed the way I was thinking about
Was
things.
that scary when you said, I'm going to break away, I'm going to break free, I'm going to do my own thing? It must have been terrifying because it's a bold move to make, because it's a great company to be working for. You know, you got lots of years ahead, you know, and here is Beyers wanting to go on his own. It must have been frightening.
Yeah, it was. No, it was. I think there was 4 years where things didn't go that well after I made the move.
Yeah.
And you asked about the lessons that I learned in that time. I think the biggest lesson, looking back, I think all those apps that we wrote at that time, in that 4 years that we were struggling, would have been successful if I've just learned this lesson. And it's really a focus on sales and marketing is what brings businesses together.
Yes.
I think in that 4 years, I learned you can write a good product, you can be technically sound, but if you don't combine that with sales and marketing, it falls flat, unfortunately. So when I started Codehesion, I was going to focus, yes, technology, innovation, but we are going to just take care like a proper business and add sales and marketing, which makes a lot of sense.
So how many people did you start with?
No, it was only me.
Just yourself?
Yeah, so no, it was me.
When was that?
In 2018.
2018, okay, so it was just before COVID.
Just before COVID.
Well, 2 years before, right?
Yes, so it gave us a little bit of time to find our feet.
Yeah.
In COVID, before the big lockdown.
Yeah.
It was absolutely crazy.
And how many people work at Codehesion now?
About 50.
50.
Yeah.
And, we were talking earlier, you've got clients all over the world. You guys are based here in Pretoria.
Yes.
And, you service clients all over the world. So it's an amazing success story. Well done.
Thank you, Aki. We're seeing some cool stuff. Like we built software for guys that own ski resorts in the USA.
Yeah, you were saying
which
to
is
us,
fun.
yeah.
A great concept that we're working on in Ireland. The fee of like security guards there is obviously quite expensive. So they need an on-demand app where you just advertise. There's an event. Can you be
Oh,
there? Can you be a
okay.
security guard? Do you have the paperwork? And if you are, you can come. We verify that you're at the location and we pay you out the next day
That's brilliant.
with an app. So there's some
Think about
really
that.
cool.
That's so useful.
That is so cool. Yeah. There's also, we've had ideas that I just wish the guys had budget to build, so such brilliant ideas. So that's quite cool of the software space. There's always creativity combined with
Yes.
solutions.
Fantastic. Now, look, let's be honest. I remember when apps first started coming out and phones became smarter. And, the world that we're living in today versus 20 years ago is very different. And there's lots of companies that are established and they've been around for a long time. How have you at Codehesion managed to really stand out in a very, very polluted, saturated market? There's a lot of businesses out there that are doing what you're doing. But you gave us a hint, and this is something of my philosophy as well, and correct me if I'm wrong. It's all about the customer experience and how you deliver.
Yeah.
That makes a difference. And you said it right in the beginning. It's about delivering that excellence, that product the client wants.
Yeah. Spot on. A focus on premium service and quality, I think, is number one. Somewhere you have to have the drive within the organization it needs to be of quality. And then I would say, to break it down further than that, I think to have a good process is really important in software that I see is hugely lacking in our industry. I think the drive for agile is partly to blame for that. Not that it's a bad thing at all to do agile, but there's
Yes.
a place for it. But I do see a lot of people just start building code without proper planning. I do think that's often missed if we do a couple of project rescues as well in the software industry. So when we do those rescues, we often see that there was a lack of planning in the process. Even a 10% planning will take you a long way. I think also a culture of delivery is really important. So to establish a culture as a company, the focus is delivery is important, and some visibility too. Like you need to be able to check the numbers on a daily basis. Is the team progressing on the project? Which is really important as well.
Oh, you're on top of it, basically.
Absolutely.
Progressing correctly,
And Aki, what we've seen is you see exponentially different results. So we're working with a client at the moment. They've used us and our developers to start building their project for them.
Yes.
They want to get to market quicker, so we're helping them. And just to give you the analogy, so our guys, this was a week ago, but at that stage, our guys have delivered like 120 tickets roughly in a month and a half for the client. And the internal team have done like 2 or 3 tickets, So if you can place the right guys with the right delivery culture and drive, it can have exponential results for clients.
Wow.
That's what we're seeing.
Yes. But listen, you see, you're hands-on, and the culture of the company is based on the way you think and, how what you want to get out of the guys, which is amazing. Are all your developers locally based, or do you use developers virtually as well, online? Because, we hear of this, and I don't know, what's your philosophy on this? Is that
Yes.
I personally believe that people should be working on it in person. It's my theory. But,
Yeah.
I'm not a developer, and I don't own a company like yours, but maybe you can shed some light on it. Do you use guys abroad to top up, or do you prefer having your team in person working?
So we only use guys in-house in South Africa and at the office. We've got a great hybrid setup.
Yes.
So you can get, that's really important for developers as well, to have the combination of in-person and focus time.
Yeah.
So collaboration and focus. But we only do permanent employment in South Africa at this stage. We've dabbled with consulting. It didn't work. And we get a lot of work in from guys that have messed things up a little bit. So we do we are skeptical on
Yeah.
that approach, like to take it too far from home and not keeping your finger on it. From where we stand, seems to be quite risky with the project work that's
Yeah.
coming
Okay.
in our pipeline.
That makes sense. And I guess it leads to my next question is, balancing the speed of development, which you were speaking about earlier, and ensuring that the code that you're developing is world-class quality. And that is to the point that you made earlier. When you've got people focused internally on what they're doing, then they're all looking in the same direction, I guess,
Yeah, I would say it's a focus on scalability and maintainability when writing code. I think having that as a core mantra in what you're doing is really important in our industry. If you visit our offices, you walk through the door, there's a big sign that says, because software shouldn't suck, So just to drill it into the guys, like, this is important. Like, you have to write quality code. And what we're seeing where clients do get stuck is if they're building something and it's not built in a scalable way, it's not built in a way that they can actually scale their business, and it's also really hard to maintain. From a technical point of view, it happens so easily. You just write a function that's this one example, but you write a function that's just way too big to maintain. Even the developer that wrote it finds it difficult a year later to remember exactly what happened there.
Yeah.
So by structuring things correctly, by using quality code, just that's why we do a lot of code audits for clients as well. So by structuring things correctly, you can make your code scale as your business, because that's the point. You want to scale your business. That's why you're looking at custom software. And if you can make it maintainable. So if you, in future, 5 years down the line, you want to make changes, how hard is it for your team in future
Yes.
to do that? So I would say that focus has helped us a lot in combining the quality side. And then I spoke about the delivery and the visibility. That's where we keep the speed up, because you have to deliver in this
Yes.
industry. Like, people need to scale their businesses fast.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is that you need to make sure that the foundation is right. Otherwise, you'll have problems down the line.
Yeah.
And then it costs a lot of money to fix those problems.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and there's nothing worse than buggy software.
Yes. Yeah.
That must upset you.
No, 100%.
And you
yeah.
see it every day, with using technology that other people have developed, and we see it every day. And you can really tell the quality difference. Software that's been done properly, coded properly, versus software that hasn't.
Agreed, Aki. And it's just setting up that culture and driving that through 100% during the process.
Yeah.
Which is important. There's maybe another element we haven't touched, is just also following a proper life cycle on that, like planning, doing proper UX, and then doing development and getting it
Yes,
tested. Like,
that's
just getting
critical,
the
yeah.
experts where they are needed into the process also helps a lot. We often see developers taking on a lot of responsibility just by nature, just get it done.
Right,
But
right.
the developer tests, the developer does the design. This is more on smaller engagements, but if you can just get the right expert at the right place,
Yes.
and get the developers to focus on development
Yes.
and that expertise, like, you also get a massive productivity gain.
So has it been difficult at Codehesion to get world-class coders? Because I imagine that when you look at the world of technology and the massive skills gaps that there are right across the board, you talk to anybody that plays in the space, they'll say, listen, there's a lack of skills. It's difficult to find the right people. How do you approach that recruitment process to ensure that you get the best developers that are available? Because they are very scarce and everybody wants the same people.
Yeah, so we did the stats. We analyzed the data about a month or so ago, and since we started Codehesion in 2018, we've only appointed 3% of people that applied to work at Codehesion. So it's pretty hard to get an email address at Codehesion. To get in is tough, and that's really been the secret sauce. And to do technical vetting is something that we take super serious. And that's we've got a very particular process on our side that we follow to vet the guys. Then we need to like you also.
Yeah, you need
To a
to
point
fit into
too.
the culture. Yeah.
So that's been a massive decision maker on our side. If we like you, and we feel like we can work with you long term, I can't tell you how important. That's been as important as the technical side of things. It's not easy. What's not easy is it takes a lot of time, and if there's a bit of advice there, you have to be patient in that you would really need to get the right guys in first. So yeah, recruit maybe aggressively, but also patiently.
Yeah. I get a sense that you haven't had a high staff turnover. People come to Codehesion and they stay for a while.
So I do think the guys that come to Codehesion actually gets an email address. We really work with them to go from intermediate, advanced, senior to principal. And if you can stick it out through that process and become a principal engineer at Codehesion, your world is open in front of you. You're not sitting at a big corporate doing one thing over and over again, becoming super.
Yeah. It's boring.
I think it's boring. Yeah, but doing the same thing over and over again. And it's also not startup chaos. You know,
Yeah.
like just get it done, just do that. Just there's a proper process. So you honing in your skill of development, or if you're doing business analysis, you're honing in that skill, or quality assurance, you're honing in that skill. But mostly development, you're honing in your skill, you're working in a variety of industries, you're working with a variety of types of clients, and you need to actually get it done.
Yes.
Actually need to deliver. You can't sit around and just,
Yeah.
see if it happens. You actually need to deliver for clients. So if you have that experience in your career and you push it, you push through the years, you can really do almost anything that you wish after that time. So, we think it's a great place to build a career.
So listen, what's the interview process like? You say that you need to like the people.
Yeah.
So there must be a panel of people that you obviously interview them as well. Do you say, okay, show us what you can do, write something for us?
Yes,
is that
yeah.
part of the interview process?
Yeah, so we first have an initial assessment, but with AI, it's been challenging us, as you can imagine. So
Yes.
AI can fill in those assessments, so
Yeah,
it's becoming
yeah.
more and more challenging to detect AI. So we really need to make sure that, and we've obviously got some clever ideas up our sleeves as well, but you need to make sure that you actually vet the guys correctly in the age of AI. There's definitely a technical likability and technical know-how.
So it's quite a
interview.
detailed process. Eh?
Absolutely. And there's a good old whiteboard explanation that you need
Okay.
to show us you can do it,
Listen, I'm glad you mentioned AI because, there's a lot of talk about AI. And look, there was AI when you were at Varsity in 2018. Surely you were touching on it. And, even engineers and software engineers that studied, 15, 20 years ago, very different world that we're living in today. And AI is really accelerating everything around us, even in the industry that you're in particular the last 2 years. And I think that it's going to accelerate even more aggressively over the next 5 years. But looking at it from the perspective of a software company like yourselves, what real advancements have been made to coding and writing code using AI, and how does that incorporate in the business? I would imagine that it makes things a lot faster. But then there's the other theory, and I'd love to hear your comment on this, is that they say that, like 70, 80% of people who write code are going to be redundant because of AI. I mean, is that even true? And how is AI changing your business?
I do see a world where AI takes us 4 or 5 times faster. So maybe that's where the 80% comes in.
Yes.
I don't see. So we've made a decision, with the AI wave that's coming in. We're definitely going to ride the wave. We're not going to, sit and wait for the wave to come by. What we're seeing from where we're sitting, we're doing proper research on this, doing proper trials, getting apps out to clients and seeing what works and what doesn't work. The vibe coding that we're seeing on platforms like Lovable and stuff like that, we're not seeing the best results there long term. So you get up and running quite quickly, but then there's a big drop off in quality, a lot of spaghetti code being generated, and so forth. And that's a good tool maybe to conceptualize software. And it's easy to use. You can go on and immediately start typing, I would like to build this, and conceptualize it. But where we're seeing big gains in success, actual success, we in the agentic AI field. So what that means is you train a agent that can actually help you with the business analysis, and it's an expert agent in business analysis. You train a UX expert agent.
Wow.
You train a developer and a QA and maybe an automated testing developer that can help you write automated tests. And you see how far you can also take it from the QA side of things in testing. And if you combine your experts in your team with that agentic AI that's trained properly, and the two can work together. I do see that as a massive gain that's coming. From what we're seeing is AI can be wow, but it can also be quite wild. So it's trying to take the whole world's answers and pushing it
Mm.
into your project. That's not necessarily what you want. You want something focused, deliver.
But it will get better.
It will get better. No worries. And I think that's where the speed gain is going to come in. Like I do foresee some massive gains. I can tell you from what we're seeing in with that agentic approach, we're already seeing about 2x, twice as fast that you
Sure.
can develop and do business analysis with AI at the moment. But as it gets better, I do see that speed picking up even more. The only issue that we're also seeing at the moment is we have to verify everything it's doing.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
We are verifying every line.
Yeah. But all that stuff's going to get better. I mean, it just learns and learns and learns, and you're going to be verifying less and less and less. But if you're doing things 2 times faster, so does that mean you can develop something 2 times faster than you would have done so in 2018?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
100%. Yeah. We're running quite a few, especially on the new builds and the new getting something out to market quicker for the new developments. We're definitely seeing some gains there already. So I do see there's being some great synergies between what we're doing and the world of AI, helping clients faster. I think it's a massive win.
No, absolutely. And then it gives you the ability to take on more work
Yes, yeah.
because you're able to do less with more. But what I'm hearing from you as well is the really smart developers who understand the advantages that AI has. It really makes them superhuman and
Yeah.
frees them up to really do some strategic thinking as opposed to sitting and writing code and you know, they can think strategically as well now.
Yeah, you know, I think there is a world where, and I think AI will change this. At the moment, for argument's sake, if a company is paying 100,000 Rand plus per month on licensing fees, let's just say for argument's sake,
Yes.
they should have already thought about building that custom and getting Codehesion to deliver it for them because they can scale the business and their fees don't grow. In fact, it will go lower to
Yes.
maintain it. And we've got a very interesting and cool product for that. But I do see that entry point getting smaller and smaller as AI advances. So I do think that guys that are charging massive licensing fees in the industry, big players, they might be in for a rough time as it gets easier and easier to build complicated stuff fast.
Yeah. I hear you. So here's a tough one around AI, and you're looking at the speed at which AI is moving today, and you look at how much it's impacting your business. Even though we can't predict what it's going to be like in 5 years from now, or even 10 years from now. But do you reckon in 5 to 10 years that you will need as many developers as you have now to do what you're doing with AI around? It's a tough question, but it's a real question. And I'm sure that developers ask themselves that question as well. How should a developer change in their thinking and approach towards AI to still stay relevant in the world that we're living in today?
Be a good developer and you'll always will have work. What we're already seeing with AI, and I think this will be it will be exaggerated later. But if you kind of don't know what you're doing and just fiddling around, like the results that AI produces for you are not that great. If you're an expert, and I can see it happening in the team already, and you can guide AI in the right direction, you're literally attaching some superpowers onto your skill set. So I think AI is going to, if I can use an analogy, I think it's going to, it will be attached to who you are as a person. And if you're really good, it will just exponentially put that forward. If you're not that good, it will help you a little bit, but it's not going to make you that super developer.
Yeah.
Do I see a world where developers are required less? I think there's going to be a world where we build more apps.
Yes.
Where we need to maintain all the stuff being built, with AI. I see a world where everyone actually wants to have an application. I'm talking to people every day. Listen, I've got a business. I think I need an app, but it's really difficult to get into the market, so you can serve maybe a bigger base as well, and you need to maintain that stuff. So it's actually growing in that direction of development. So it might be quite interesting. in
Look,
5 years.
you're spot on there, Bayers, because you're quite right. Because forward-thinking business leaders today, they need to modernize their business. They need to bring in, custom software strategies. They need to think about hyper automation. They need to think about incorporating AI into their businesses. Because if you don't do any of these things in your business, and we're not talking about the large corporates and the banks and that sort of thing, every single business, medium, small size, you've got to be thinking, how are you going to make your business more agile? How are you going to make your business flow better? And you can only do that via technology and using
Yeah.
technology. And that's where software comes in. And I'm sure you get lots of these questions from business leaders to say, Bayers, how can Codehesion help us streamline our business? We've got this problem with our invoicing, or we've got this problem with our logistics, or our production, or whatever the case may be. They come to you, you come up with the solutions. And I'd love to hear your mind on these kind of processes that we're talking about.
Yeah.
And if you have any examples of businesses that have approached you and, there's a client that's making those smart long-term bets. And when we say long-term, we're not talking 10 years. We're talking 18 months. Because if
Yeah.
you don't stay competitive and you do the stuff we're talking about, somebody's going to overtake you.
I think what we're applying at Codehesion counts for every single business out there. So having your experts in your business sitting next to an expert trained agent on the AI side, and seeing in every department and every step of your process how you can maximize that, I think is a massive strategy. It's already been working for us. We've already had 2x gains
Yeah.
by just taking that approach. Taking your team, I'm not saying getting rid of your experts at all. I'm actually saying enhance them, putting an agent that's trained well in what they're doing next to them, and then getting your productivity of your business up. So that's going to be big. And look, it's something we've done for Codehesion, and it's something that we're working with our clients to also help them see the effects of that process at the moment. On the software development side, I think there's so much you can do. If you can train an AI agent and integrate via API, it's so simple. But you still need somebody to just bring that process together for you so it actually makes sense. So at what stage do you break out and ask the AI for a question, take that feedback back into your process and go forward again?
Yes.
So I think there's massive opportunity for clients in the next 12 to 18 months in that approach. And then also just the advancements made on custom dev and how quickly you can develop stuff faster now with a team. So that combination, I would say, is where we're seeing AI is at the moment.
Yeah, but you know what's magic for me, and I'm sure that you must give you a great deal of job satisfaction, is that this stuff is quantifiable. Because once you start deploying the stuff, and your client saying, "Wow, this is mind blowing. We're able to do this, and this person has now got, so much more productivity gains." Because that's the essential thing. You want to make things easier. You want to take out those dumb processes that are wasting time that technology can do more efficiently than human beings and faster.
Yeah,
and that's what's beautiful about this. It's quantifiable.
Yeah, it's creative. So it starts, it's the establishment of it, and it's the results and the maintenance of that afterwards. So yeah, the maintenance phase is especially pleasing. Make sure that the maintainable and scalable code actually scales, and actually gets maintained correctly.
Yeah.
So that is the exciting
So
part
look,
of
at the end of the day, you hear of lots of disaster stories. And, people try and take shortcuts. They think, oh, you know what, it doesn't cost that much. But, if you want quality work, you're going to pay money for it. And do you do rescue work? So if I come to you and somebody that I paid money to hasn't delivered and has messed my project up completely, can you come and help me rescue it and fix the things and the problems up?
Yes, so this has happened. So when we started Codehesion, I wasn't expecting this part. Funnily enough, I didn't. We were focused on getting projects delivered.
You weren't going to be a software paramedic.
Yes, 100%. And the phone rang, and we had to deal with what came up in the market, and it came up more and more. So I can maybe share one example. One of our clients, excellent client of ours, where they started with a friend of a friend that built the application for them,
Okay.
didn't work. Then they actually got a consultancy in to deliver it for them. They were doing okay, but they decided to then also they wanted to buy out the consultancy and take them over in house. So they bought them over, took them in house, and everyone left. Um, then they tried to appoint their own internal team to deliver the project, and didn't work. It's difficult to establish the culture, and do all the things that we have to do daily on a daily basis to deliver. And then one of the guys stayed over. So at the time when we did the code audit for them and tried to rescue the project, they had a single developer left through this whole story. So we were actually the sixth partner to help them.
The sixth partner.
Yes.
Wow.
And I'm happy that's the first time that somebody came in, built it with quality code, got it scalable, maintainable. And they've been our client for 2.5 years now.
Yeah, well, you see, that's the thing. They'll stay with you.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's super rewarding for us to
Yeah.
do it. It's not nice to hear the stories. It's not great. There's a lot of pressure. So we have to work with clients, especially when they reach that point. They've reached that point because they either need to launch or there's some timeline that's not being met. So coming in, working with a client, seeing how we can deliver on the business critical side of things, and then work with them
Yeah.
to make it properly scalable, maintainable is our process.
Yeah.
So I didn't expect us to do that, but it's been happening.
Yeah.
And we've actually found a lot of purpose in doing that, like writing clean code, making software not suck.
Yes.
We found a lot of purpose in
I
helping.
love that. Making software not suck as you come into Codehesion.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a great mantra to have. Do you work with really big organizations like the banks who've got their own internal teams, and they say, we need some help, Codehesion, come and help us fix this particular software problem? Or do you prefer dealing with small and medium-sized businesses? I mean, or do you deal with everyone?
So we're an excellent partner of a client that needs to either do one of three things. Either need a software project rescue that's gone off track, or they don't have an internal dev team yet. So they need somebody, listen, bring me the structures.
Yes, help me.
Help me. I need those structures. I need a package that I just have the structures and we can get going. And then we're also really excellent where we help bigger clients is when they've got their internal teams and so on, but there is a project that they don't have time to manage that. They just need it delivered. So
Okay.
they actually just want to attach a delivery team onto their existing project, especially if there's a new project or a project that's been neglected.
Yeah.
And somebody just needs to bring the proper structures and get it done. So we're a really good fit. It's a delivery-focused organization
Okay.
of delivering software.
Brilliant. So where do you see Codehesion in the future? You said you started 2018, so next year you guys are going to be 8 years old. And you've had a remarkable 8 years. You said you're employing about 50 people, so up to this point. Or is it something that you want to scale? Do you want to double your staff in the next, say, 5 years? Because you're certainly growing at a rapid pace. And where do you see yourself in the next few years expanding? I mean, Africa is a continent that's really, it excites me, the opportunities that are out there. Where do you see Codehesion over the next few years?
So doubling is actually quite spot on. We'd love to double the company in its current format. I think people need this concept. People want this concept. They want us to come in and help them. They want us to come in and help them establish scalable innovation for their businesses. I definitely think we can not change anything and just double the business. I really think that there's enough quality there to really just double the business. I think a small tweak I would like to do after that potentially is we're gaining a lot of experience. So we're dealing a lot with various sectors in the market. So loyalty has been a big one. Logistics has been big. Like you wouldn't imagine. POS systems, helping clients with that has been big, helping them with their CRM strategies. So I do think there is a future where at that stage we start going a bit more niche and creating some more verticals because the expertise is being nurtured and developed in Codehesion. So I do see that as a strategy for us. On the AI side, I do think helping clients in the short term, and I mean this in the short term, like the next 12 months to 18 months, help them conceptualizing their ideas quickly, getting a prototype properly built, quality prototype. Let's call it a minimum viable product, like something that you can actually get users to use.
Yeah.
Getting something out to market at a lower price point faster so you can really test the waters. I think that's also a big part of our strategy for 2026.
Okay. And how does somebody get in touch with Codehesion?
They go for our website. We are fast. We'll contact them very quickly.
Very quickly, eh? Good
Yes.
stuff. Hector, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, and
Thanks, Aki.
it's wonderful to watch the progress of your company over the last few years, and may you
you.
grow from strength to strength. Thank you for your time.
Thank
Thanks for
you.
joining us on What's Next.
You've been so complimentary. I really appreciate it,
It's a
Aki.
pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Hector Beyers, the CEO and the founder of Codehesion, talking to us. And it's such an important aspect of the world that we're living in today. It kind of forms the foundation of businesses and how they grow and how they remain agile and how they transform themselves and how they're able to scale. Hope you found that interesting. Thanks for joining us.